So let me divert to business, right? Looking at the business environment over here. I had a conversation with a lady that I'm working with, and then I asked them, she actually, gave me a briefing of how business is different from Ghana over here. But to you as a videographer, as a photographer, shooting for birthdays, weddings, and all that, right? Tell us your business name, how you decided to start that business when you came in here after school and all that. And if there are any challenges in dealing with, clients, what do you call it? Specifications and all that. How does it get what do you do to get a client to book you for their weddings or programs, and what challenges do you face?
Um, Good question.
Yeah.
Business has been good. And if you have noticed, I don't take too much jobs.
Yeah.
That's because, like I said, I have my full-time job and then I have this on the side. This is my passion. Who knows? Maybe one day this will become my full-time job as well.
Yeah.
But for now, it's more about the passion, the fun part of it, and maybe the little money that comes out of it too that helps
Yeah.
sort out certain things. But business here is, the opportunity is there. You don't need huge capital to start up a business.
Okay.
Like in Ghana, to start a business, it requires a lot, right?
Yeah.
Here, business startups is encouraged by the government, right?
Right.
So if you can start up a business that will thrive, you're encouraged to do that.
Okay.
And in certain industries, in certain businesses, you can even get grants from the government to start up and set up
Yeah. I
the
saw that
business
some
and all that
weeks
stuff,
ago.
right?
Yeah.
For my photography business per se, um, like I said, my journey started as a hobby,
Right.
right? So I have always have passion for video and cinematography and photos. So
Mm-hmm.
that passion has been there since I was a kid. I
Yeah.
remember when I went home Ghana recently,
Yeah.
my mom brought out some old pictures and she was telling me I took them. And I was like, I couldn't even remember
Wow.
I took them, right?
So you had
So
it inside of you
it's like
long
I had it
ago.
a long time ago. She
Yeah.
was reminding me about how my dad bought me a camera when I was young
Oh,
and the
that's
pictures I took with them. So
nice.
I actually took some pictures of those
Mm-hmm.
and came with it. Like I was remembering, oh, so how long was I when I took these photos? And I can't remember, right?
Yeah.
But I've had that photos and picture thing.
Yeah.
I've had that love for tech
Mm-hmm.
and cameras and the specifics.
It's good.
Um, so if you look at my YouTube channel, I'm not just a photographer.
Yeah.
I talk more about the technical aspects of
Yeah.
using your camera, right? Not
Exactly.
just taking the photos, but the technical aspects of that.
We want to see more of that.
I will, I will. I've just been lazy. Like I told you, winter kills me, right? Winter
Okay.
is like,
Now you don't
but
have an excuse.
now I don't have an excuse. Yes,
Yeah.
but that's how it all started, and eventually, a friend of mine who is a wedding videographer,
Okay.
he actually invited me to come shoot along with
Okay.
him for weddings.
Right.
So I started shooting along with him during weddings, and that's how I got into doing it
Yeah.
as a business,
Professionally.
right?
Okay.
Because it was me all a hobby, me doing at home.
Mm-hmm.
But when you interested in a hobby, you don't mind spending the money to get the best
Oh
gear for
yeah.
it. So I already had the best gears, or high end gears, but I was just using it, not making money with it.
Right.
And this guy invited me out. We shot a couple of weddings, and that's how it all
Voila.
started. Yeah.
Wow. But what have been some challenges, over here?
The challenges is if you want to run a business here, one of the things I always tell people is you gotta know how to document.
Okay.
Documentation is very important.
Oh wow,
Just
documentation.
because in Ghana you start your business, you don't owe anybody nothing. Sometimes you
Yeah.
don't even register it with the government.
Mm-hmm.
You don't pay taxes on all that stuff.
Right.
Here, if you run a business, you have some obligations to the government in
Mm-hmm.
reporting your taxes personally and as well as your business.
Business.
So everything you buy for business use, everything every service you offer to somebody,
Yeah.
you need to document properly.
Okay.
Receipts, invoices, all that stuff. You
Wow.
gotta keep them because every year at the end of the year you gotta
Mm-hmm.
file to the government. This is how much money I made from the business. This is how much money I spent in making that money. So
Okay.
the money you spent in making that money would be, what did you spend on equipment? What did you spend
Yeah.
on advertisement? What did you spend on
Oh, so you
stationery.
got to
You got to
document all of that.
document everything, right?
Wow.
What I have seen some people do and how why they fail is because when they are doing it, they don't document all of these things.
Okay.
If you don't and you file taxes and you are behind on the taxes or any of that sort, you begin to owe the government, and it can put a lot of stress and pressure on you,
Okay.
right?
Right.
The other thing I always also advise is there's two types of businesses you can open here.
Mm-hmm.
One will be a sole proprietor, one will be an incorporated, right?
Okay.
And there is differences. Yeah, I always encourage people that if you're going to start a business, look at incorporating the business,
Yeah.
because when you incorporate the business is an entity of its
Of
own,
its own, yeah.
right, outside of you.
Yeah.
So you are your own entity. The business is an entity.
Yeah.
If the business makes a loss, it doesn't affect you personally to a
Yeah.
certain extent, right? So that way, your personal income can be separated from the business's income.
Right.
Most people try to do the sole
Sole
proprietorship
proprietor.
where they are running the business under their own name.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's always good to start that way,
Okay.
but I believe that once you're growing, you need to look at
Incorporated.
incorporating, separating yourself
Yeah.
from the business, right?
And it comes with its own
It
advantages, like
comes with a
getting
lot.
loans, having
Yes,
people to invest, and all that. And
yes.
yeah, the business terrain here is totally
It's
different.
totally different. So,
Yeah.
if you want to run a business, my best thing is that do it right, right?
Yeah.
And doing it right starts right from the beginning, even
Mm-hmm.
before you open the business. A
Right.
business plan, right? Most of us from Africa, we don't like to write. We don't like to read.
I
You know what
know,
I mean?
right?
Like we, we don't like to write and read.
Yeah.
But put your ideas on paper. I think that there is something about writing things down that actually
It's
helps.
good. Yeah.
So
It's good.
put it on paper.
Mm-hmm.
This is my business plan.
Yeah.
This is my target market. This is how I intend to advertise. This is how I
Right.
intend to raise money for my
Yeah.
business. That kind of thing. Put
Mm-hmm.
them down before you even start, and
That's
you'll
true.
succeed.
My English teacher in GIJ said that a short pencil is better than a long memory. So it's very
Yes.
good to write. It doesn't matter what you're writing, but it has to be of essence. If you're hearing some noise in the
Yep.
background, just know that the
Hmm.
kids are happy and they are jumping
Oh
up there.
yes.
Anyway,